Yes. Okay, and we are back. Welcome to Conference Live. I'm Jerry Katzman. I'm your host. So far today, we've had Iron Man, we've had robots, we've had Oscar, we've had Kaba, we've had everything. And now, as we come to a close of today, in about 30 minutes after interviewing a couple more very interesting people, we're going to go out into the trade show floor. We're going to see drones. We're going to have AJ Jolivet give us a walkthrough with a live drone strike. It's going to be amazing. And one of the themes that keeps coming up is the management of information in real estate technology. And here with me today is Matt Milliken, account manager with MFiles. Hello.
Thanks for having me.
How is the show treating you so far?
The show is incredible. We came to starting to the show last year, and it's an incredible event. We're happy to be here. We have property management companies, real estate companies, construction companies that use our solution. And I often start off saying that really, and I have to credit my wife, we were talking about what we do, and she gave me this phrase, we bring order to chaos. Chaos is a strong word, but I see that, and what I do is I sell the software. So I work with organizations to help them understand how we can help them improve their efficiency in the way they manage their content. And
let's start at the beginning.
It's pretty chaotic.
Let's talk about MFiles as a product. What exactly is MFiles?
So let's pick an acronym. The one that we're most frequently referred to is Enterprise Information Management. So all of your documents, emails, any kind of project, facilities and documents related to those, MFiles manages that content, makes it easier to find. Ultimately, what we really, when we get an ROI, is I can find what I want when I need it quickly. And there's a couple key things that differentiate our product, and it starts with metadata. It starts with information. So one of the strongest things you can say about our product is it's completely folderless. So I don't know if you remember Benioff's no more software sign. We're kind of no more folders. So the idea is I can load content into the system. Instead of worrying about where I put it, I worry about what it is. So one of the biggest problems we run into is people are stuffing multiple copies of content into folders all over their enterprise.
Right.
Siloing of information. So have you ever been 30 minutes into trying to find a file and you find the wrong one?
Yeah.
So with MFiles, that problem goes away.
Interesting.
So I load a contract in, and I don't even think about the folder. I just tag it, and then MFiles organizes it for me. And that's a key differentiator. So if you look at our competitors, SharePoint, OpenText, solutions like that, they're all traditionally folder hierarchical based. We wipe that off the map. You just load it into MFiles and tag it, and you're done.
It makes sense. I mean, Google, the most successful company,
perfect analogy.
You don't need to go, hey Google, what folder is the information I'm looking for? And you just say, find me this thing, and they have meta tagged it, much like MFiles has.
Well, the other analogy we use all the time is the iPhone. So think about you buy a song,
thing down, yep.
You load that song onto the iPhone.
Yeah.
Are you putting it into a folder? Do you want to put it into a folder? I mean, who wants to use folders anymore? So we're the anti-folder company. And it's just, MFiles is one big secure bucket where I can organize, secure, collaborate with all of my content. And we also integrate with systems. So something like Yardi or MRI. If I want to sync a customer or client object into MFiles, we connect that, dump the files into MFiles, tag them to that object we're pulling from Yardi, and those two systems begin talking to one another. So it's a way that we kind of become the hub of all of that unstructured content. So what is unstructured content? It's documents, emails, stuff that's really hard to find. Now you just tag it, and you connect the systems together, and MFiles is kind of that hub.
What happens if you haven't tagged it? Does it still have the ability to natively scan the content and say, well, you may not have tagged this thing leasing contract 2015, but those words exist within the document? Is there any of that?
Absolutely. So full text indexing. So that's the other thing with MFiles is you can search on the contents of that file. So a la Google Desktop, it goes and scans the file. Every character inside that file is searchable. So even if you don't tag it by any relevant number of tags, you can still full text search it. And that's a common use case. Dump all my invoices in, just give it one simple tag, but they're all in the system now and I can search. And then over time you make those invoices more intelligent by tagging them. So you have multiple ways to locate that content.
Does it have any kind of predictive analysis so that now I'm loading things in and it kind of automatically knows where to put them?
Yeah, so we work with capture solutions. So one of the biggest issues I run into with my customers is becoming paperless. That's an obvious thing where organizations have been going over time. The idea that I can have a document come in, MFiles capture solution can look at the contents of the file. If it finds the word invoice, it'll tag it as an invoice automatically. So that kind of intelligence is stuff that we're adding to the product as we improve it over time. We have a really exciting piece to our product coming at the end of this year that we're working on. We call it IML, Intelligent Metadata Layer. So what that is, one of the biggest hurdles companies have is when we go to them is they've got documents in SharePoint. They've got documents in Windows folders. They've got documents in box.com.
Sure.
So what do you do if you use MFiles? Well, you have to import that content. A lot of times someone's going to think about that and I have to move. No one likes to move.
Sure.
They don't want to move their documents anyway. So we're developing this technology where you can keep those documents where they reside. MFiles becomes a layer that adds metadata. And so you have one central search tool. Your documents stay where they are, and MFiles coordinates it all. Something we're really, really excited about.
Are your competitors afraid? Because this sounds about 1,000 times easier than what exists out there.
We hope so.
That's sort of the buzz about the company, that it's just sort of a much more intuitive, much snappier. It almost feels like the difference between using an old Palm Pilot versus using your iPhone. You're speaking our language, we the internet people. How are they coping with you behaving in a way that's much more current?
Yeah, well, I think everyone says easy. Who's going to say their product isn't easy?
Sure.
The point is to really develop a solution that is two things: easy to use for the average user. So the way we translate that is MFiles is integrated into the operating system as a drive. So when I open up my computer, it's just like I'm saving to a local drive. But when I save to MFiles, it syncs it up to the Microsoft cloud. The user doesn't care or know.
Right.
And in order to set that system up, we have a simple administration tool. We walk you through, train you very simply.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
That's the bring to
because
market.
Because all the other solutions, you need a developer. How much develop?
No way. So when I say no way, what I mean is with MFiles, that's the differentiator. Is you need someone who knows how to use a computer.
Yeah.
Knows the business process. So that's key.
Sure.
You don't need to be a developer.
Really?
So with SharePoint, which we compete with most often, I would say, often what we hear from customers that are using SharePoint is, we spent $1 million on this last year. We had to hire a little team, an army of people to keep it up. We need something that's more simple.
Sure.
So with our product, it's a matter of training for a few days, plugging in your metadata structure, and then running the system.
Wow.
That's key. That's critical.
It's a bit disruptive.
It is disruptive, and we're really excited. We've experienced a lot of growth over the past year.
If I'm considering staying with the solution that I have or moving to your solution and I'm nervous, what would you say to the person who's going, this sounds great, but I'm not sure yet? What would you say to them?
So we've been doing this for a long time, and usually what happens with a situation like that is I don't want to transfer, and change is hard.
Right.
Even if I give you that tool that makes your life easier. So we've got references that they can talk to that have used the tool, that can tell them what they've been through. We help them transfer that data into the new system with an automation tool we built, and they end up with a system that their users are going to be a lot happier. Their data is a lot more actionable and findable. And so things aren't siloed anymore. So it's a matter of just showing the system and showing them the customers that have been successful.
Matt, it sounds fantastic. I wish you the best of luck with
Thank you very
MFiles. And are you guys, is there a booth here on the floor?
We are, booth 215. We've
Fantastic.
got my colleague Dennis and I come by and we'll demonstrate the product for you. So
Wonderful.
we'd love
Matt,
to.
this is terrific technology. Thank you for being
Hey.
part of Conference Live.
Thanks for having me.
Matt Milliken from MFiles. And as you make your way down, I am delighted to, that was an